Then, am I audible? No, I'm not going to make the sponsor joke again. I can't keep making the joke every stream. At some point it has to get boring, right? Or at some point I get a sponsorship from Audible and it will be hilarious in hindsight. One of the two. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want to do today. I definitely want to get back into game dev, like game dev streams, so that's why I'm doing this now, but I'm not quite sure what exactly we're going to tackle. There's still some things I would like to change before working on different levels and stuff, and just in general get a bit more of a feel for how I want the game to look. I probably also need a lot of help from Select because I'm an okay programmer, I'm not a good programmer. I would say. And I'm dense sometimes, so that also doesn't help. But yeah, the main thing currently is that sounds good. That sounded like my elbow just snapped. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, don't mind the 5,000 error messages on down there. Godot doesn't like reloading, like at all. It causes some interesting issues. But yeah. I mean, yes. I suppose. Oh. I guess we gotta see the positives in all of this. But yeah. Frams! Long time no see. How's it going? Yeah, it's been a while. You've been pretty busy. Right? Yeah, I'm finally doing a game dev stream again. Took me way too long. That's great to hear. Nice. Yeah, so I'm currently just trying to figure out what I want to do next with the project. What? You know what? I don't even want to know. So yeah, my first goal will probably be like I kind of want to set up a sort of I want to establish the vibe I want to go for with the game kinda in this first opening stage. And at the moment it's simple. I don't hate 11 year. I don't think the math works out quite right, but thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and it's amazing that we have been going for so long now. Oh, right. There's another project we're working on, So I kinda didn't want to work on this project while I needed to focus on my exams, because this is going to be, you know, the main thing I want to focus on, and I don't want to do it while, having, you know, to focus on my exams. Because I want to do it properly. But at the same time, I did kind of want to work on something, so I started a side project, which I'm I already mentioned probably, but I'll go into more detail later when I have some stuff to show off. This is the same planet-based game, yes. It's been a while since I worked on it, but we are back, I suppose. Well, that was more dramatic than I intended it to be. um, as I was saying, I first want to establish a bit. I maybe should filter the music I use for this a bit. But then again, we wouldn't have this perfect introduction. Yeah. But yeah, basically the idea I want to go with is a bit of more of a city vibe. I can check if I can find something like that. So, one sec. One sec. I'm just going to... What? There was a reference in which I quite liked. That one. But in general, I'm just looking at references at the moment. Like, I have looked at a few references which I would like to use, and... Where's the... I would like to have a window capture... And I would like to close that tab so I know which of the windows is actually the one I want to show. Yeah, that's it. I kind of want to go with such a sci-fi cyberpunk kind of market style, but also kind of including some more, you know, old school Roman kind of architecture, something like that. Something with pillars, with a lot of lights, which is a bit moody, you know, that kind of vibe. And I have the basis for that, but I definitely want to establish on a little more. That's actually an interesting approach. And yeah, I would appreciate if you could send me some stuff. But yeah, at the moment the level is very simple. Like, it's fine. It's not bad. And it would definitely fly in the, you know, SNES era, but... I want to go a bit further than just, you know... I fear where this is going. But yeah, this is what I ultimately want to do. Rework this level to... Don't you dare! Actually, it's probably going to be the funniest thing. So do, but later. Also, hope you have a good dinner. Watch out, it has a gun. But yeah, the basic idea is going to be, I want to add a wall jump, so I might work on a wall jump sprite now, but... actually, wall jump sprite is a good idea. The other idea I would like to work would probably be more complicated, which would be reworking the enemy behavior, but that's a bit more complicated, so I might leave that to Silic. Which Silic might do that while we are working on this. And otherwise, I don't know. There's some stuff I would like to rework on boss AI, but again, that's a bit more complicated. And otherwise, I guess I could start making some tiles for what I want the stage to look like later, like some more decorations, pillars. So I don't know. Actually, let me do a poll. Let's give that 3 minutes. Actually, 1 minute. We are not done. 2 minutes. We are not done many people. I still need to play TF2. I want to. Yo, Raftplay, how's it going? There's currently a poll up, by the way, so if any one of you wants to vote on that, please do. On the top of chat. So. Okay. It's been a bit of a time since I streamed too. It's been a bit complicated. But hey, how's it going? If you are going to tie that poll, wait, they are? Wait, that... Are you... no, Frams, are you... Who are the proper authorities? Also... well, Frams, does TF2 actually shut down, or was it... Huh? Good job, you tied the poll. Huh. I don't. So yeah. I'm personally for environmental assets, so... Dang it, Raftfly. Every time. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, I wanted to do environment sprites. Let me just make a new tile set. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. So normally when I do sprites, I like tile sets, I do that. One sec. Where did I change that? There. So normally I do something like this. Zoom, please. Do something like this where I am.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know. Warum? Anyway, we don't need any of this. Rough to play. What? What has my chat become? Which one are you? Yeah, the one I want to keep. Just getting that sorted. To be fair, Divide, you are actually not wrong. I'm just going to steal the colors from this, by the way. Which is, by the way, how most of the tile sets currently look. So this is where I probably want to put. I'm glad. I'm truly glad. Yeah. I should probably start with the pillars I wanted to add. Something more. I should probably use this material, like this color, for the pillars and stuff. I probably was on the wrong layer. Let me try that again. Yeah. Donaudampfschifffahrts Elektrizitäten Hauptbetriebswerk Bauunternehmen Bauunterbeamtengesellschaft. I fumbled it midway through, but you know. I tried. That's one word, by the way. Well, it really shouldn't be, but it is. Blaukraut bleibt Blaukraut und Brautkleid. Nope. I can't. And I won't even pretend like I can. Anyways, I'm going to pillar. Now, should the pillars have a hitbox? Like, should you be able to slide down the pillars, or should they just be in the background? I kind of want to keep them in the background because they're going to... I'm probably going to keep them in the background, which is only really relevant because of the outline. The thing is, for things that actually have a solid, like, actually have collision, I use a solid black outline, while I use softer colors for background objects, which is useful in that, well, it makes it easier to recognize where you can stand and where not, even if you use similar colors. Not Antares. Well, that's not true either. You later get special weapons from the bosses which allow you to shoot projectiles, just Antares doesn't start with one. He only has a sword, while Sagittarius has bow and arrow. And later you can get, I think, projectiles. I would need to check what I have written in the game design document, which I probably should open anyway. While I'm at it. I'm probably not going to read it because I've written the dang thing. So I know most of what is written there anyway. Which in general isn't... Yeah, Sagittarius and Antares. Sagittarius is supposed to be more classical Mega Man gameplay with, you know, shooting, just a bow and arrow instead of arm cannon. While Antares is more based on Zero and sword gameplay. Which I haven't actually played Mega Man Zero yet, I should probably do that at some point, maybe off stream. But yeah, the game design document. I'm not going to read it a lot, but it's always useful to have a game design document because it just means you have an idea and you have written it down, so that's set in stone for now until you decide to change it deliberately. But it gives you a guideline from which you can either go, like, stray away or stick to. Either way, you make a decision, basically. I would really like to have my mouse, thank you. So, with the pillar I probably want to do something like... Now, should the pillar lean against the wall, like, be connected to the wall, or not? Like, should I do something like this, or should I do something like, probably more like this then. Maybe even this. Also later with better shading. I just... At the moment, shading this doesn't really matter too much. But with what of these two should I go for? I think that's easier to sell as a pillar, while that the left one, Bon Aperitif. See you in a bit. Yeah, this one looks more like a pillar, while that one looks more like, you know, an actual structure you would maybe imagine as in a more sci-fi setting. Or in general, futuristic setting. Either way. Um, I mean, I can do both for now, and worst case, we can scrap some of the designs later. Like, I guess that's a solution too. I probably would like to have an outlet here at least to somewhat imply that it isn't connected directly. Then I'll add a line here. I think that that works better. And then I'm just going to take that, flip it over. Deal with that. And those are 3 pillars. Then I can take that. I guess I could lighten up the shading up here. No. Yeah. Lighten up the shading up here a bit. So it looks like it's actually, you know... Because that's basically the trick. Once you actually go into more detailed shading, you can use lighter outlines for brighter surfaces. And actually I rather would like it... Yeah, like that. I think that's probably... Actually, that looks fine on both ends. Yeah. With that, we already have a more defined shape. Simply by changing how the outline looks. Then we can use something like this to actually I think I actually want to reverse that. No, not all of that. For one simple reason. Since it's going to be a round pillar probably, it's going to look better if the side that's actually, you know, closer to the player, basically. Closer to the player is more illuminated. And this is the ring, which is a technique with which you can simulate a slower, like basically half shading, half more stages, basically. I'm probably explaining it horribly right now, but I think you get the idea. And I actually think I want that one more closer to here. And then I can probably add outlines, like, you know how pillars usually have like those, like in artworks often have those lines like this. One sec. I'm going to move that over here and then just yeah, something like that. Exactly. Don't do that, but exactly. Yeah, I think that looks better. And then I can just steal this pillar and put it... Wait, I should do the lower half too. Yeah. I can even... You don't even notice that because that's basically... it's fine. Yeah, that looks good. It's in... The problem with the... it was just a dream solution is that it basically convinces your audience that they never should have cared in the first place because the story wasn't real. Which is why such stories are very difficult to do and usually need some other twist or idea to make work. For example, Link's Awakening has a twist that... Spoiler for a very old game, by the way. That it was all just a dream.
Oh no!
But yeah, the interesting part about Link's Awakening isn't that it is a dream, but the fact that you basically, you know, to wake up, you basically need to destroy the world. True. I didn't say it was a particularly big reveal. But yeah, it basically is all just a dream, and a thing that's kinda never really explored, but certainly implied is that, you know, nobody like that the characters you meet in the game basically die because you decided to wake up. Which is a very interesting, you know, moral conflict. Is it really just to return to the real world even though there are, you know, actual people in that dream world? Is that correct? No, that isn't. I could zoom in to make it easier to see, but you know, where's the fun in that? I can just copy it later. One sec. No, I rather want to do it. We'll see. I don't think there's a singular good answer on how to do that differing there. Except just don't. Which might be what I'm going for if that doesn't look good. Yeah, I think I'm just going with don't. And then we just mirror that on the other side. And then we have this and that. What's that? I think I'm rather removing this then. Yeah, that looks okay. I think I'd rather just keep this. Yeah, that looks slightly better. I'm not quite happy with that pillar, but it looks good enough. yeah. Okay, we have the pillars I wanted to add. I don't quite know where I'm going to use them, but we'll figure that out later. I kind of, again, want to have a section like the image I've shown. Like that, where, you know, you have a tunnel, basically, where you walk through. Maybe have some combat, and have, like, people who pass by, more or less cower in front of the robots, because that sounds really good. See you in a bit. But yeah, basically the idea is having such a similar tunnel section, because I really like how the atmosphere this basically sets of like a moody street. So yeah. So I might want to work on some signs, basically. Like neon signs for brands and stuff. I need to check where I put my... I had some notes and some sketches for that, but I need to check where I put them. I might have them in my... they might be somewhere on my PC, I'll check later. During the break, I guess. Or they are somewhere lying around here. I don't... That's, by the way, a very interesting side note. As someone who does a lot of sketches and stuff, on the one hand, it feels very weird to say you just lost a piece of artwork or whatever, but like, knowing the kind of people that make art, at least knowing me who makes art, yeah, that happens. Rarely, but it happens. But yeah, I'll need to figure out where I put that later. But yeah, basically what I need to think about is signs I want to put into the world. Should that also be... yeah. Fact. Nah. That's fine that way. But yeah, having some signs we can put up for people to see. I'm going to keep that as a reference. Now the question is, of course, how big do we want to have the signs? How... we would probably have several variants of signs. And of course the thought if they should be animated, which is why I might later move them to a different sprite sheet just for that animated sign, or for all the animated signs, but we'll figure that out once I made some examples. Which also means I need to find some colors I want to use for the frames of the... I kinda don't want to use this bright grey metal. While I think it looks good for the floor/ceiling tiles, and I will burn that bridge when I get to it. Exactly. But yeah, I don't want to use such a bright metal, but I also don't want to use the grey or brownish grey which I used for the walls and floor. So I might look into the metal I used for the security robots. specifically that blue metal. But at the same time I kinda want to keep the blue to make them stand out, so might also not be the best idea. For now I'm going to use the grey I used here, and then I'll figure out later what I actually am going to use. I don't mind if the... oh, wrong layer. If we get taken down by Square Enix for this, so be it. Because of the music. I just realized it's Final Fantasy VII music. If the very obvious main theme isn't obvious enough. I might also use the metal from here, which is the same metal, I just might have used more colors here, I don't actually remember. But yeah, use something like that as... Why am I always on the wrong layer? Something like that. Oh. I guess I didn't use any new... Actually, I'm kinda impressed that that tile and that robot all use the same color. Just so, as an aside. That's actually kinda impressive. But that's a good habit. When making pixel art, you want, like, especially when designing new characters, you want to use relatively few colors. Like this sprite only has a very limited amount of colors per frame. The only actual difference is the lights glowing here. So that's a very good thing to do. I'm just going to copy that so I have it down there. Because that's just my default palette, and I rarely want to take that, like, reference that if I make a sprite, but anyways. With the sign colors we can get very creative once we actually have the frames. I would probably use simple shapes for the signs. And I'm thinking what would be the smartest way to handle this, because technically I could handle it in a way where basically each of the things I want to display on the signs, like the different advertisements or whatever, are independent of which sign I actually use. But that would require me to fulfill certain conditions. Because, for example, if I have... and I'm just going to use that as a quick sketch, not actually as... if I have, like... several signs like this. Theoretically, I could put them on any wall. And I don't want the... Obviously, I don't want, for example, if there is an advertisement with a word on it, like... like that. I wouldn't want the word to be flipped if I mirror the advertisement. But I also don't feel like I don't want to make 2 sprites for each advertisement. So a smart way of handling that would be to separate the actual advertisement from the sign. I think that makes sense. Now I'm thinking how I could handle that smartest, and I think the solution is basically making the frame in one color, and then having some obvious color that doesn't belong, like that green, in the middle of the sign to indicate you can, like, we're changing that color later to the color that belongs to the advertisement. Then I only need to know what the background color of the advertisement is, or the background pattern, or whatever, and can change that to that's exactly a human word. Enjoy your fooding. Have the greatest of all foodings. That's something humans say, right? I might take a break soon too, because ads was going to run relatively soon. I say relatively because 8 minutes. But yeah, that's, I think, the best solution to this. Maybe have like 2 patterns, but yeah. And then I probably handle it via 3 layers: background, frame, and then art, or rather background, actual advertisement, frame. I'm gesturing a lot today, despite the fact that no one can see it. Yeah, but that's, I think, the best way to handle this approach. Yeah. So something like this might be... it looks a bit weird at the moment. I'm going to clean it up later a bit. Like this. Yeah, you stayed back there. That looks okay. And then something like this. Yeah, that looks decent. It doesn't need to have a lot of detail, because most of the detail will come from the advertisement anyway. Yeah, like that. And then behind that will be the advertisement, and probably something similar for the mirror. The thing is, they are probably going to be attached to several words surfaces, so I probably want to have at least one for each surface. I'm going to enable the background. I have a white background usually behind most things I'm working on. Simply, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How have you found us? I'm always curious to find out how people find the stream. And yeah, I'm currently working on my own game, a platformer inspired by Mega Man. And yeah, I'm currently working on some advertisement signs for the marketplace, which is going to be the opening stage. Which looks something like this then. I'm going to... I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm just going to redraw that. I can later figure out how exactly I want that to look. That... Nah, I would rather want to have a bit more space here. But yeah, how's it going? My name is Freud. I'm mainly a pixel artist, but I'm also a game designer, or I'm starting to work as a game designer. My own indie game stuff, and fan games and stuff. Like, I'm working on a lot of games, but I also stream, like, playing games a lot. In general, just variety content. I should probably close that. Sounds like the weather isn't too great right now. Hope that improves. The weather has been pretty wacky here as well, though probably not quite as bad. In general, the weather in the last few days, in general, like overall, has been seeming pretty weird in a lot of places. Not to mention the hurricanes in the US. And if you are in fact affected by one of those hurricanes, I hope you are safe. Like, that's... Yeah, I can imagine. I see. Well, I hope everything is alright on your end. It's definitely... definitely bad weather, to say the least. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I'm currently just working on the sprites for the game. Mostly just decoration, to make the levels seem a bit more interesting, I guess. Because at the moment, while I find the level design is already quite neat, it's very simplistic. I would rather... not quite. Sometimes the storms are that bad, but usually they're much calmer. partially because Germany is just more, you know, in the center of Europe compared to a lot of other countries around us, so the storms are usually not quite as bad. Though there have been some pretty strong storms lately. I'm thinking how I'm going to handle this sign right now. Because the area that I use here is not quite... Actually, that area might just about align with what I have for those signs. So, if it's something like that, it would... Good. I'm doing good. I'm a bit tired. It's been a bit of a weird day for me today, but I'm doing good. Again, kind of figuring out how I want to handle, in general, just a lot of things with the game I want to work on and figure out how I will handle it in the future. Also, there's going to be a break relatively soon because Twitch wants us to run ads, so I should probably take a break real quick while they run. So yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, I think. I think that's over. So yeah. To give a quick summary of the game would be basically, well, a Mega Man-inspired platformer with 8 bosses you can fight in any order. With... great. 8 bosses with special weapons which you can use to defeat other bosses. Currently I haven't yet made sprites for the bosses, because I first want to get the basic gameplay. Stretch? Okay. Yeah, I haven't done the sprites for the bosses yet, mainly because I, hey Dan, how's it going? Want to, well, I first want to get the basic platforming done, which still needs some work. But yeah, the basic idea is that you have 8 bosses named after the planets, which which you can fight in any order. The game is running in Godot, which I can actually conveniently show right... Godot? Godot! Can conveniently show right here. Which is a free to use, completely open source engine which you can modify yourself or also just use for free, which is one of the main reasons I used it, but also because it's very flexible and just a good 2D engine, unlike Unity, which I think is a bit more clunky with 2D. But yeah, I can show off the game real quick. I don't have too much yet. Like currently we have a very basic opening stage here. I'm still working on the music for the stage. I have a boss theme for the boss, but not. Unity is a bit weird. It can definitely be weird to get into. But I do think Unity is a good engine. I personally don't like it that much, but that's mainly just because I'm very used to Godot. But yeah, it takes practice, that's for sure. Either of these engines. And yeah, to show off the game real quick. I still want to redesign the background a bit, but at the moment it's a relatively basic platformer, with the most interesting part being that you have a system which allows you to walk while... Can you see the game? I don't actually know if I... Yeah, you can. I wanted to make sure. Luckily you don't take that much damage at the moment, which is also something I want to balance later. But yeah, you can walk while attacking, which will later be fleshed out in a more complex combo system. Again, at the moment I just want to get the basics done. Get a feel for how I want the movement to be, and then I'll find out more. You have a dash which allows you to, at the moment, absorb, later it will reflect projectiles. We just don't have the reflect code yet. And it's all, like, at the moment relatively basic, but... Oh, we are very zoomed in. That might in fact just be an overlay issue. I can rerun the demo, it doesn't take long. Oh yeah, that's definitely... Oops. My bad. My bad. Center... Yeah, but yeah, I can rerun the demo real quick. It's, at the moment, not much. It's enough to, you know, showcase the basic idea, but not quite as far as I would like it to be. All the sprites, by the way, are custom made by myself. Which was a lot of work, but I enjoyed doing it. And I'm not the fastest spriter, so this is my main issue at the moment. I'm trying to get better about it. Also, the sound design is not great yet, because I basically have never done sound design before this project. So a lot of the sounds are still weird. But yeah, I want to rework the enemy AI with Silic, who is my brother, and also the main programmer here. Mainly the boss AI is at the moment relatively straightforward, to say the least. Oh, and yeah, the music for this boss I also composed myself. But yeah, this is at the moment all there is. It's a basic demo. I want to expand on it a lot before I actually, you know, push out more beyond the stream. And yeah. Again, by the way, also, if you want to hear the song, I can run it in the background while I continue working on the sprites. But yeah, that's the basic gist of it. It's a platformer with some combat. That's the wrong song. That's still the wrong song. I think it doesn't like the randomization. Excuse me? I am... one sec, I can find it in my files. I should be able to find it in my files anyway. Otherwise I can find it in game files. Easy as that. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't play it, but I'll fix it after the stream. But yeah, that's currently most of what I have. And I'm working on fleshing out the tutorial level, so I, you know, have something I can show off and orientate myself in how I want the game to look. No, wrong thing. But yeah, that's the basic idea so far. It's going to be somewhat story heavy with like some moral conflict basically, and some just general character interaction stuff, which I always like when games are more character driven basically. And yeah, I guess I can get back to the normal playlist. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing so far. I'm not by no means an expert in this whole thing, but I'm trying to learn, and that's, I think, the important part. Um, and yeah, mainly just doing sprites right now because I need to look more into the code to understand. Because again, a lot of the code is also made by Silic, not just myself. So I need to look into a lot of it before I can completely... What's the word I'm searching? Until I can completely work on it myself. And especially the enemy AI, which is one of the things I definitely need to rework. Will need a little bit more work than just a little bit of oversight. One important thing is going to be having the boss properly react to being hit, so you can't just, once you stand behind it, completely annihilate it. It might also get a bit more health, which is another thing I can rebalance a lot. Yeah, that looks good. So those are the 4 base size signs. Now, am I going to... I'm thinking about how I handle the side. I suppose I can handle those signs this way. Because there are also going to be bigger signs like this one. Which will allow me to basically just have bigger, like more variety in how the signs will look by giving them more sizes. Also allowing me to display bigger advertisements. And I want to do it this way because, yeah. Which, by the way I do the shading in here is specifically so it looks like that's deeper basically into the image, like if that there's basically an indent or whatever. I'm not good with words right now, but I think you get the idea. Yeah. I think I keep it that way. Yeah. That way. Nothing too complex, just, you know, a basic frame so I can put something in it. Which will later also, once we have proper light shading and stuff, like light sources and stuff, will look a lot better. Because that's also on the priority list. And then we have 2 signs here, which are going to be more like that. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet, I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to make this work. Should also make this a bit... yeah. I think making that a bit wider would help. Also allows for more shading. Which in turn, shading good. While I do think you can overdo it with shading, in general, shading good. And the same for that side. Yeah, I think that looks better. I could also... I think that looks good. Then I just continue the frame like that and in general, what you will notice is I try to keep things as simple as possible because shading can carry a lot of detail in itself. So usually if you already have decent shading, you don't need to worry about too much. Because it can sell already a lot of the concept. I need bright color. But yeah, also again the outlines with the two different colors for the bright and darker sections of the shading. It's a simple trick, but it gets a lot of... like it sells a lot of the look. Actually, I think that might look good. Yeah. Doing it that way just sells the idea that this is a bit more rounded by having the light hit it at different angles. A few of the shading things I do here are nonsensical if you actually look at them in more detail, but it's not really that problematic. Because a lot of it will move by relatively quickly anyway. And if it leads to a better overall look, I think it's better to ignore quote-unquote inconsistencies in favor of better, just a better look in general. And then I'm just going to redraw that. To keep up with this, yeah. Also again, sorry if my descriptions are a bit weird. It makes sense in my head. But yeah, basic idea is going to be making some decoration, then maybe making the wall jump sprite afterwards, so I can finally implement the Silic can finally implement the wall jump, which is going to be very useful. Simply because it's a classic ability for the Mega Man X games, and since they are kind of my main inspiration, I thought having a wall jump would be neat. Besides, wall jumps are just in general pretty neat, in my opinion. Because it's a very, it's a simple movement tool that can get you a lot of which you can get a lot of mileage out of if you use it well. And it's always something I like. If you get more use out of one ability. And then shade light. I guess still like that. Nah. Yeah, I think that's almost fine. I just need to add a little bit of extra. Yeah. I might add some buttons or something on the signs later, so they look like they, could actually be turned on and off by someone who would work with the advertisement companies or whatever. Not that you actually can interact with them, but that they look like they have a purpose in universe beyond just being decoration, even if that's kinda the use even in universe. But I might do that later. Now what I'm thinking is moving this over here so I can add another sign that's just that size. Again, using that background so I can actually somewhat see what I'm doing. That looks too round. I rather move that over here and that one over here as well. I kind of want that sharp, angular look. I didn't need to move that. My bad. And then I'm just going to... I also didn't need to move that at all. I'm just... Oh well. Wait, first I'm going to... I want more sharp edges. Like, sharp, even sharper edges. Yeah. Like that. No, I need to think about how I do the sign in a way that it actually looks like it's going to connect to something, but I guess I have a solution for that. I'll push that one down, I'm going to push that one up, I'm going to push those to the side. And then I'll show it in a sec. First I'm going to shade this. It's already the shading we use. And shade it here. Yeah, like that. And then I just need to drop a bunch of color into it. I'm thinking how I'm best going to do the lighting, because the lighting is a bit weird the way I designed it now. Maybe not my best idea, but it looks okay, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, that's fine. Not perfect, but fine. And then I'm going to get some highlights here, here. Nah, I preferred when it was less obvious, basically. Yeah, that looks good. Anything else I need to shade? Nah, that looks fine. And now I basically copy that over and attach to the sides two of those. Because it doesn't really matter. Nope, no, don't delete everything. It doesn't really matter which, you know, I can just take one half and then attach it to the other. So yeah, that's pretty easy.
Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad. Well, you have been replaced.
But yeah, that looks okay. Not my best work, but I'm not going to complain. So yeah, that's a good chunk of decorative items. How tall is they are tall. So if I want to make a market, like for the market I want to have basically stalls where different people sit around and try to sell wares and stuff. Issue of course being someone needs to be able to stand in them, so they need to be a bit taller than the player ideally, because ideally the people around the player are maybe not quite as tall but still tall, you know, because I don't think the characters are particularly over average. Yeah. So for this, am I going to put them here? I think that this might just be enough size, like just enough for 2 of those market stores. Uh, how high can Antares jump? I don't remember anymore. Let me check really quick in Godot. I made several jumps that he can make, so I just need to check how high they are. If my mouse ever shows again. My mouse is just gone. That's nice. Aspirate, I would like to have my mouse back, thank you. Well, never mind, I will have to live without. He can easily clear 4 tiles, so having the market stores be 4 tiles is perfect. Yeah. So the question is, I guess, what kind of look do I want to go for? But since I kind of want the player to be able to platform on them, I guess I'm just going to start with a roof. It should look somewhat more, you know, like fabric along the lines of a more, you know, market sort of vibe. I guess I'm going to just extend the roof down here, so I can do something like that. Probably going to change the outline here still, but then give them somewhat of a one sec. Let me just grab Antares and see how tall he is. I'm just going to that's unfortunate, isn't it? I just have to puzzle him together really quick. I think the smartest way to do this is just copying the tire. So I can... I anyway need a reference of the full character. So puzzling him together now is not a bad idea. I should have honestly done that sooner, but... yeah. Did I already add the right leg? I didn't pay attention. Yeah, I did. Luckily, this doesn't take particularly long. I don't know why I did copy the cape as well. I don't really need it, but yeah, that's a good reference. And he can reside here for now. Meanwhile, that's Antares. A gladiator and I guess rebel leader. So if he stands, I almost can lower the roof of the marketplace down. I shouldn't take that with me. Almost can lower the roof of that one tile down. And probably even one tile closer. Because, frankly, most people who are going to sit at those market stalls aren't going to be, you know. But at the same time, it might be a bit visually easier to handle if it's taller. It's weird. I don't want it to be too tall, but I also don't want to, you know, kinda would prefer if it was a half tile, but I can't quite do half tiles. I guess I can visually make it a half tile without it actually being functionally a half tile. By... yeah. By basically adding a wall in here and more of a floor in here. And then I add the counter top of here. Don't mind him. Yeah. Something like that. And then later changed outlines so you actually recognize that it isn't, you know, something you can stand on. Nah, actually I can probably remove that wall. Let's find a way. Maybe here. Maybe also increase... lower the ceiling here a bit. Like the tent, basically. But yeah, this is Antares. He's basically a human gladiator who more or less unwillingly started a rebellion against the... yeah, that looks good. That looks very good. Which feeling? Unknowingly starting a rebellion, or... Because on the one hand I want to ask how, but at the same time I'm not really surprised either. Yeah, I almost figured. I think I won't even ask. I think we're all better off with me not now knowing. I'm going to use that for now. I'm definitely going to change the color later. And then give it like stripes. A bit cliche, but you know. I don't mind. Um, Nothing wrong with stripes indeed. Maybe a bit more stretch, and yeah, that looks good. You know what? True, true. I will probably replace it later with a different color, but for now that's fine. Maybe add some shading later, but I'm going to change the color of that. Might actually make several variants with different colors, but I don't know yet. That one can probably use the same colors I used here for the staff. And I was on the wrong layer again. The thing is, I used different layers for this because it's just easier to animate the arm if I separate it from the rest of the body, which is why Antares has this ridiculous amount of layers. Because it's just easier to animate every single piece separately. In general, a very good recommendation on my end, I would say. Like, in general, something I would recommend. Which I think I could get away with. I might update the sprites for the security. No worries. Have a nice evening too. See you around. Talk to you later as well, I think. Yeah. That looks good. I think that looks good. And yeah, you can probably just... Yeah, that looks good. I think I should change the shading on the... and instead do this. Yeah, I think that looks good. In that case, I'm actually going to update the sprite here as well, because I like how the outline looks if I do it that way. By just reusing less colors, while at the same time still reusing colors. I think I made a small mistake. No, I actually didn't. Yeah, it looks fine. So I guess I'm going to use that updated design now. Luckily I can just rip out that arm and copy and paste it in again. Just here I need to update it, but that's fine. It just gives it a little bit more color. The only thing I'm not quite sure is if I rather want to keep that color for the... I think the answer is yes. Because it looks better. So I'm going to do that real quick, just updating everything to look like I now want it to. Sometimes pivoting like that during design is just a thing that happens, that's fine. I guess I can copy that now. No, maybe not the entire arm. Though it seems copying the entire arm would have been fine too, because I've basically not moved the arm. So yeah. I don't know for how much longer I will go today, simply because I'm kinda tired, but also because there's still a lot of things I need to fix off stream. Just wanted to get back into this so I make it a habit, basically, again. Yeah, I'm going to update it later in the sprites as well. I'm thinking about what I use. For the walls I'm probably going to use a similar design like that one. Maybe not with the bricks, but definitely the same. My bad. 1 sec. Because of the rain the last few days I caught a bit of a cold. Yeah. And yeah. I don't know how much longer I will go, because also there's still some stuff, still some stuff I would like to work on beyond this. So I think I actually prefer if that has a solid outline, because then it looks like if you could walk in there, you would collide with it. Actually, I think I'm using the floor, like the floor tiles, like that one, the color of those for the floor, because that looks more like asphalt and might give a better look to the whole thing, making it more seem like it's part of the floor instead of... but I'm probably not going to give it as much of a pattern, making it seem more basically like bricks out of the asphalt. Yeah, something like that looks good. And I guess on the backside I'm going to figure something out as well. Probably something more along the lines of the bricks here. I don't know if I want to have bricks for the wall there, but I don't know what I quite want to do with it then. I don't know, I'll figure something out later. For now I'm going to give it basic shading and probably also going to use the actual tile, instead of the bricks as background. Because the tiles actually have a pattern. So that's 14 times 8. So that. Then the next one is just the entire thing, but without the sides. And I'm already going to cut that line through here, so then I basically get to copy that, so I might as well copy it. The pattern is just to make it look a bit more, you know, quote-unquote dirty, to give it a bit more texture, basically. Because having texture helps with making, basically, it makes it seem more varied, more fleshed out, more lived in, more, you know, because in reality nothing is really 100% clean. So having a basic texture on walls is a good way to make it seem more, yeah, fleshed out. I'm thinking which color I want to use for the roof, because again, it should kind of fit into the mood of a more dark sort of market, so, which is also why I'm not sure about the stripes yet. But it's definitely going to be such a striking green. It's going to be something more subdued. Not quite brownish, but more a darker brown, brown orange sort of deal. Yeah, let's try that. Then again, I don't want to interfere with that color, so maybe not. Something. blue doesn't quite feel right, I feel like that's... Let's try a dark green. More muddy green. And drag it down a bit. A bit more saturation. Yeah. It seems like Twitch is now also not informing me about ads anymore, which is kinda unfortunate. But yeah, I'm going to take a quick break and then I'll be back. welcome back. Thank you all for sticking around. Wrong scene. Yeah. As I was saying, probably something more green. Maybe a brighter green, but I'll figure that one out. But yeah. I'm probably also going to use a more dark gray for the stripes. Something like that. That it looks more muted. And not quite as bright. I need to get a brighter color of that one, which is relatively easy. 85? 70? And 60. Basically, I usually use a formula of shifting the hue to by 5 points to a more, like by 5 degrees to a more warmer color, then lower the saturation by 10 points and increase the brightness by 15. It was 15. I don't think that works. Not quite, anyways. Something looks maybe a brighter gray. And definitely I'm going to add more folds and stuff, details. That one gets a darker color, which will be 30, 90, 95. By the way, which color is warmer and which is colder depends entirely on where you currently are on the color wheel, so it's not easy to tell. That one might need a even darker color. So 15, 100 and 100. Yeah, that looks about right. Then I'm going to add some folds. Something like that. Just something to make the... Not quite like that. I think that... Yeah, that gray is better. Just something to, you know, make the cloth feel more quote-unquote used. I'm thinking if I add a harder outline here, which will have some problems in it and of itself, but might be a good look. Yeah, I think makes it easier to recognize what it's trying to do. by giving it that hard outline. Which also allows me to use that color instead. That's okay. Feel like I don't need it here, because it's more like hanging off than having a solid outline. And more of... yeah, that looks good, I think. And then I'll later need to put people in there, but I know, yikes, people, but which is why I might split that up in 2 parts, which means I might increase the size of this sprite sheet, which I probably should do anyway, so, you know, not a big deal. But splitting the roof and counter from this part would allow me to put them on different layers, which means I could theoretically put the people in between those layers. So they seem to be standing there, but you know. What color do I use for the counter? I guess I could split it up in 2 parts. One part that looks more like the metal I've been using a lot already, and one that looks more like no, I don't quite like how that looks. That could look good. But kinda... hang on. If I split it here and have it be just in general... looks pretty good actually. Just means I need to add a bit more to this as well. And it's a bit weird because it introduces perspective into this, but just a little bit, not... I don't know. Suddenly adds a lot more perspective to it. Nah. Then again, I would like to have the perspective, but it, you know, it being the only thing with perspective would be kinda weird. And it would be fine if I, you know, could account for the perspective change, because I conveniently have this wall which just allows me to resolve, quote-unquote, resolve the perspective change at the end. But it still means I need to account for Basically, I would need a second pillar here, which then also defines how the shape would change. Having a lot more shape here instead of I don't know, it could work, but I would need to actually commit to the perspective change, basically. Let me make a copy of this so I can try it, and if it doesn't work, I can still work on, like, try something else. So if I were to do it here, something like would be in order. And I would need to make it visually work. Wait, needs to be like this. And then let me just get rid of all of this. I'm going to add the stripes back in a sec. Because by introducing that perspective change, I basically force the whole thing to look completely different. And I would need to move that all a bit down. It can work, but it's definitely weird. And of course, most of this wouldn't be gray anymore, like dark green anymore. It would be lighter. Anyways, something like basically like this. And then obviously I would need to replicate the same look over here. And it's not quite what I would want, considering I want the player to actually stand on the... yeah, this is probably not going to work how I want it to. Unfortunately, no. But it was worth at least giving it a try. Oops. My bad. But yeah, the base idea of having this metal countertop isn't that bad even. Just need to figure out how I best make it work. That it doesn't look too off, but also because that, for example, looks weird if I do that. That could look fine, but probably only if I use that color. maybe? I suppose, yeah. For the count itself, I can yeah, I guess I can just use the wooden color again. And I don't think this should be in any way, shape or form actually collidable. So yeah. Then I used it outline only for this here and maybe for this corner. Maybe also here. Don't really have a reason not to. It looks a bit odd, especially if I don't cut back here. Still looks odd, but I can at least, you know, I can work on it later more if I want to change it. So I guess